Welcome to a new way of thinking. Let's explore what's possible. It starts with a fresh perspective and a spark of curiosity. Small businesses are so desperate to recover their money that they are selling their refund claims to hedge funds for as little as 9 cents on the dollar. 9 cents. That alone should tell you how serious this situation is. Let me explain what that actually means. A real company. A real problem. There's a company called Kids 2. They make baby toys, walkers, activity centers, products you see at Target and Walmart. Not Amazon, not a mega corporation, just a normal American business trying to survive. Between February 2025 and today, Kids 2 paid millions of dollars in Trump-era reciprocal tariffs on toys imported from China. These tariffs were 10%, 20%, sometimes 50% stacked on top of existing import duties. They paid every dollar because they had no choice. If customs says you owe it, you pay it. End of story. But Kids 2, like thousands of other companies, believes these tariffs were never legal. More than 1,000 companies filed lawsuits arguing that President Trump used the wrong law, exceeded his authority, and that the tariffs must be refunded. So Kids 2 waits, waiting for the Supreme Court, waiting for justice, waiting for their money. Except they can't wait. Small businesses don't run on hope. They run on cash flow. Payroll doesn't wait. Rent doesn't wait. Suppliers don't wait. So Kids 2 did something desperate. They sold their refund claim to a hedge fund for 23 cents on the dollar. Think about that. If they paid $1 million in tariffs, they had a legitimate legal claim to get all of it back. Instead, they sold that claim for $230,000, losing $770,000 just to survive today. And some companies are getting even worse deals. Some are selling claims for 9 cents on the dollar, losing 91% of their money, because they don't believe the government will ever actually pay them back, or they simply cannot afford to wait. Who's winning? Here's the part that should make you angry. The hedge funds buying these claims are betting the Supreme Court will strike the tariffs down. They're buying desperation for pennies and planning to collect full refunds later. Small businesses get crushed, Wall Street gets rich, and the government created the mess. And this is happening right now. The deadline. Nobody is talking about the Supreme Court is currently on recess. They won't be back until February 20th. But there's a critical deadline on February 6th, 2026, next week. Companies must register for electronic refunds by that date, or they risk not getting paid electronically at all. So companies are being forced to register before the court even rules. The window is closing while the judges are not even in session. You see the problem? How did we get here? In February 2025, President Trump imposed what he called reciprocal tariffs. The idea sounded simple. If China charges the US 25%, the US charges China 25%. Fair, right? Except there's a constitutional problem. Trade policy belongs to Congress, not the President. That's Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. Over time, Congress gave presidents limited authority to impose tariffs under specific laws, but Trump didn't use those laws. Instead, he used the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, a 1977 law designed for sanctions, not tariffs. No president in 47 years had ever used IEEPA for tariffs. Trump declared trade deficits a national emergency and imposed tariffs of up to 50% on imports from almost every trading partner. By December 2025, customs collected $133.5 billion. By January 2026, it's projected to hit $150 billion. The court step in companies didn't stay quiet. Costco sued, Revlon sued, Bumblebee Tuna sued, Kawasaki sued, Yokohama Tire sued. In May 2025, the Court of International Trade ruled unanimously, illegal. The Federal Circuit upheld it. Trump appealed to the Supreme Court. During oral arguments, even Trump-appointed justices expressed skepticism. Legal experts say Trump is likely to lose. And if he loses, every dollar must be refunded. Why this could break the system. Refunding $150 billion would be the largest customs refund operation ever. Millions of shipments, millions of entries, never done before. The government says it's almost impossible. Importers say, the data already exists, just refund it. So why the resistance? Because the money is already spent, and because the administration is trying to scare the Supreme Court with chaos. What this means for you. You paid these tariffs. Companies pass the cost to you. Studies show earlier tariffs cost households $1,000 per year. These are bigger. Even if refunds happen, prices won't drop overnight. Jobs are at risk. Markets will swing. Your 401k is exposed. And all of this was avoidable. Final thought. This case is not just about money. It's about presidential power, constitutional limits, and the future of American trade policy. The ruling will drop without warning at 10 a.m. on an opinion day. When it happens, markets will move in milliseconds. And whether you realize it or not, you're already part of this story. Welcome to a new way of thinking. Let's explore what's possible. It starts with a fresh perspective and a spark of curiosity.